Hi guys, welcome to my movie fan channel. My name's Tyler. Today's review is going to be for episode 5 of WandaVision. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below, hit subscribe, and the little notification bell. That way you get alerts to when I post a new review. Also share this video around all your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and all the different social media outlets. It really helps out the channel. This week we got an 80s episode, and like all the other episodes that came before in this series, the costuming is on point. I like all the outfits that they're wearing. You definitely get what time period this is mimicking or supposed to be set in. We got Vision dressed like he's on Home Improvement or something with Tim Allen. He's got his shirt tucked in, his flannel shirt. I like that Elizabeth Olsen has her own twins in this show, and her Olsen twin sisters were in Full House, and this had a very similar vibe. Late 80s show. The intro was great, and I think Baby Vision is going to be the new Baby Groot or Baby Yoda. What was interesting is they go to the intelligence agencies, and they have a briefing where they're very quick to villainize Wanda and bring up her Hydra past and make her seem like she's this dangerous threat that has to be eliminated. Jimmy Woo's like, whoa, we're kind of like oversimplifying it. She's an Avenger. And they refuse to call her Scarlet Witch still in the MCU, and they dance around it in this scene a lot. They like even reference like, does she have a silly name? And they're like, no. Wanda stealing Vision's body in the little like camera recording shot that we got was awesome. It was really cool. Apparently that was against his like living will or dying wishes or whatever to not be reborn or brought back.
If I fall, don't bring me back.
And used as a weapon. It was in the Sokovia Accords too, so apparently she violated that again. We also see that Wanda's twins are growing up again and aging up super fast in this episode, which is kind of crazy. I wonder where they're going to go with that, if they're going to be around in the MCU after this series is over, if they're imaginary. We don't really know. They ask these kind of questions in this series. Like, characters in the show are asking questions that the audience is theorizing and speculating about, which I kind of like. It's a little bit kind of like obvious. It makes sense that that's what they would be trying to figure out. If she's dangerous, what's going on, if these people are real, if they're people that need to be identified so they can be rescued, you know, if they're kids that have other families and the family's looking for them. They need to know that. Everything outside of the town that Wanda is controlling is basically centered around what I call the sidekick Avengers of Jimmy Woo, Monica Rambeau, and Darcy, Kat Dennings' character. There's a funny scene where they like openly debate who the strongest Avenger is, and they're like, well, Captain Marvel must be Thanos by herself, and Monica didn't really like that. She didn't seem to want to talk about Captain Marvel at all, which is interesting. I'm sure we'll find out why that is. But if you really want to know who the strongest Avenger is, it's Thor. You're welcome. Speaking of fights, they send a drone into Westview to see what Wanda's up to. So Monica's controlling that, flies it in, and then they say to fire a missile, which she didn't think it was armed, at Wanda, which is not good. And I don't know why they would try to antagonize this person when she is obviously hurting people and whatever, but if she wanted to just go on a rampage and destroy whole towns and actually seek out violence and a fight and hurt people, I think she would have been doing that. So I don't know. It was kind of a contained thing. I don't know why they would poke the bear, but they do that in this episode with this drone. When she comes out of the energy shield, dragging the drone behind her and throws it up at him, I was like flipping out. I was like, oh my god, this is so badass. It's probably one of the coolest things that they've done in this show for sure, and then in the MCU as a whole, because it was just awesome. Because you know how they were hyping up Wanda in the show, and you've seen her have these displays of power like she did against Thanos in Endgame, so you know what she's capable of. And there's also an element of we don't know the limits of how much she's capable of. So it was kind of scary too to see her confront these people. And she was so pissed that like her accent came through, which I like that they're doing. There's times that people that are Duolingo will go in and out of their accents, and when they're under stress or in disarray, that's probably one of the times where it would come out. So it makes sense that the show kind of chose to go with that and is going to stick to like a set of rules with that, because she was going in and out of the accent kind of crazy in a lot of the other Avengers movies. So I like that they're kind of like going to stick to a reason why that's happening. Like when she's singing to her babies, she's just kind of like she's reverting back to like a time where she had family and stuff, so the accent was coming through, and she was singing in like a Sokovian language to the babies when they were infants in one of the previous episodes. The in-episode commercial to this one is for a paper towel brand, which is named Lagos, which is the place in Captain America Civil War where Wanda got in trouble for possibly hurting and actually hurting civilians on the field while the Avengers were on the mission. So it's a place that has significance and relevance to her character, which is interesting. I still don't know where they're going with these in-episode commercials, but I think they're intriguing, and they've all been to things that hint at her past. Vision is like a prisoner, and he's starting to figure that out, and by the end of this episode, he does figure out and confronts Wanda, which was also very tense and exciting and really badass, and I enjoyed that. I think he's going to be brought back into the spell again, but continue to break out of it, and Wanda's going to have to wrestle with trying to contain him when all his will is just trying to break free. The doorbell rings, and we get the big surprise cameo of the episode. It's Pietro, but not the one that died in Age of Ultron. It is the X-Men Pietro, played by Evan Peters, which was crazy. I was flipping out. I saw the back of his head, and I knew who it was. I was like, oh my god. Of course, that opens a whole line of questioning of multiverse and X-Men and where the MCU could go now. Who's going to play what roles from previous X-Men movies, if anybody, if they're going to bring them back. If there's going to be 37 Spider-Man characters in the next Spider-Man movie. If Doctor Strange is going to be him going through the multiverse. And there's going to have cameos from everybody. I think Chris Evans is rumored to be the Human Torch again. Like, they're just, now everything's open. The floodgate is open and anything is possible. But I really want Magneto in the show by the end. Maybe that's how they start calling her Scarlet Witch, is she does like the Jean thing from X-Men 3 where she goes with Magneto and his band of mutants and she's like the Phoenix, but they call her Scarlet Witch and she's like going on a little evil kick and they gotta bring her back and redeem her. But this episode was so exciting. Friday can't come soon enough. Let me know what you guys thought of WandaVision, what some of your theories are, what you're most excited for now that it looks like we're going to be getting some X-Men characters and some multiverse stuff going on, what you would like to see, and I will see you guys in the next video.